has a different face behind the mask because it's really a personal trainer trying to help you. You may not want to lift that dumbbell, you may not want to, but it is helping you to grow your muscles. It's helping you grow your gratitude muscles. This is what you need. And this is really what we need. Elul is all about this time period that we're in right now, this month before Rosh Hashanah, is the time period of feeling God's love for us.
Welcome to Impact Today,
the podcast where we explore important messages for parents and children together. I am I.M.P.A.C.T.
And I am Binyamin
of Growing Impact Publications. Join us as we dive into the books written by Mrs. Bracha Getz,
my mother,
and my mother-in-law, best-selling author of 40-plus children's books, including Let's Stay Safe and Talking About Personal Privacy. We'll be bringing you a behind-the-scenes tour uncovering the joyful and important messages hidden in each unique book, and we'll learn how to utilize these books as tools in our parenting and in our own lives as well.
Welcome to Impact Today.
I'm Avital Getz.
And I'm Binyamin Getz.
And today we're joined by best-selling author Bracha Getz. And today we are excited to delve into her 41st children's book. Just to give you a little bit of background, Mrs. Bracha Getz is the best-selling author of 45 children's books and one book for adults. And today we have the privilege of talking about her 41st book, called Don't Read This Book. It's quite the intriguing title, and we have it here to show you. Very cute with a little fly and some masks on the front cover. This book is a book that has quite a backstory to it. If you can share how many years this book really took you to write.
Yeah, it took me more than 30 years to write this book. It's not that gigantic, but it took 30 years to write it. Why? Because Hashem gave me the title. I had the title. I had most of the book written, and I kept rewriting it through the years, but something about it didn't seem right. It got a message across, but at the end, I wasn't left with a good feeling. There was something kind of creepy about the book, and I didn't know what to do, and I kept working on it and revising it. Now I know I needed those 30 years because I did not have the wisdom that finally came to me that I needed in order to finish this book, because the ending of the book, it's totally revelatory. It's totally surprising. What I'm sharing in this book is part of my own process of growth and understanding through life. So it's the new discovery that I made that I'm sharing with children. And what I learned is you can't really share things with children in a clear way until you understand it really clearly yourself. So that's what I was finally able to do. It changed the whole tone of the book so that the message is now completely joyful. And it has an impact on children for that reason, because they can absorb it. We can absorb things easily, and they become a part of our lives when we learn them joyfully.
Beautifully said. And just to compare, typically, how long does it take you to write a book? Just so we have a frame of reference going on.
Yeah, it happens very quickly usually. And the book did come out really quickly for me when it came. It's an inspiration from God. It comes right to me. I write it really quick before I lose it. I call it brainstorming because it really is like a storm coming down into my brain. And brainstorm is the perfect word, because I try to catch all the drops right as they're coming. It comes really quick, and I try to get a first draft down immediately, as quickly as it
I
comes.
love that imagery. That is such a great, you know, what you called it brainstorming. I love how I could totally picture that in my head of you sitting there writing and it just coming straight to you.
Yeah,
I love that.
usually in the dark, because I have a pad by my bed, and it's just before dawn when I wake up. All the neurons are consolidating during the night, and our soul rises up to heaven during the night. It gets refreshed, and that's when it gets filled with new thoughts that come down to earth. So that's how it works.
That's
Yeah.
so great. So this book was actually one of the ones that we published in our publishing company. It was originally called the Getz Bookshop, and now we're called Growing Impact Publications. And working on this book with you was such an experience. I mean, the psychology that has gone into just each page of the illustrations alone. I mean, it is packed full. You can sit and you could pick apart each page and the illustrations, besides for the words, besides for the text itself. There is so much going on here that I would love to unpack with you. But just to give a little synopsis to our readers, because this title is quite intriguing, don't read this book. Most people who we come in contact with, they're like, ooh, I'm gonna go read this book now, you know? So can you just tell us a quick synopsis of what is this book all about?
Yeah. And I want to say also about what you said, how every page is deeply psychological, yet it's understood by a 4-year-old. A 4-year-old totally gets the message, and yet older people will get the message on a whole different level. So as you reread the book through the years, you you see new things in it as you grow.
Yes, a
That's how it
hundred
works.
percent. This book is amazing like that. And at the very end, which maybe we'll get to, there's something at the end to help parents help children digest it and make sure they've understood it. So we'll get to that again. But just if you could tell us a little bit about what this book is all about.
Yeah, don't read this book. It's showing you how right away with the title. It's showing you how the Yetzer Hara operates. The Yetzer Hara is it's that inner critic. It's the nasty nagger. It's the self-destructive impulse. It's the voice that we all have inside all of our heads. And until you read this book, you might not realize that every other person also has the same kind of voice. It helps you to see that right away. That's one of the first secrets that you learn in the book. So don't read this book. Is the voice of the, let's call it, the Hebrew term is the Yetzer Hara. Um, it's the desire to do wrong things. That's really what it is, or the destructive impulse. The voice is saying, don't read this book, because if you read this book, you're going to learn my secrets. In here are the secrets of that inner critic, how it gets to you, and once you learn its tactics, how you can overcome it and outsmart it with its own tricks once you've learned them.
Wow. So the words "don't read this book" is coming from the Yetzer Hara itself, from the evil inclination itself. But if you look at the cover, you can see already some hints about, you know, the masks. Can we dive into the masks right away that you can see on each page? First of all, before the backup, why is the evil inclination portrayed here as a fly? Can you explain
Right,
that to us?
right. We learned that in the beginning of the book. We wrote about that quote too. Yetzer hara dome lis zavuv. The Yetzer hara, the destructive impulse, is comparable to the fly. We learn this in the Talmud in a Gemara. So that's how is it similar to a fly? When you shoo a fly away, it comes right back. It just keeps coming back. And also, the fly is attracted to the lowest kind of things. It goes to meat that's decaying. It goes to dirty things, garbage pails. It's going to the lowest thing. And in our lives, it tries to pull us down into negative things as well. So that's how the Yetzer Hara is compared to a fly.
Yeah, and just like when you shoo the fly away, it goes away for a little bit, but then it also returns, right? So
Exactly.
you're never done fighting off the fly. You're never done. It's not like I won this battle. I'm on top of the evil inclination. He's gonna come back, which it talks about in the book as well. And this is a heavy topic, but somehow once again, you've managed to put it in such a sweet and joyful way. This book is not heavy at all. It is lighthearted, it's joyful, it's funny, and it's catchy. It's quite a unique book, and the way that you were able to do that is amazing.
Thank you so much.
We
Thank
also
you.
have a version of this book. It's the audiobook of it, and a animated storytime video of it also available on our website, growingimpactpublications.com. And we have it that it sounds like it's the voice of the Yetzer Hara of the little fly talking in the audiobook, which is really cute as well. So now that we know a little bit why it's a fly, can you tell us about the masks? Because in each page, it's not just a fly that's being portrayed, but he's holding up these cute little like handmade masks that in every page it's a different type of mask that he's holding, and they all coordinated. It's really, really adorable. Here he's a little firefighter, and can you tell us why he has a mask and what we can learn from the masks?
The Well, that's kind of the secret of the end of the book too.
Oh, so should
And
we not
and I
say?
yeah, I want to say that a 4-year-old will probably not get the masks at first. It just looks interesting. But again, that's a thing that they will be able to comprehend later on in life because the Yetzer Hara, that's the surprise ending of the book, really, that has to do with why there's a mask. I can I read part of this book right now?
Sure.
Would that be okay? Okay. This is what I want to do. I'm going right into the middle of the book here.
Okay,
And
right into the meat and potatoes.
yeah, um, I I ask you to think. This is the Yetzer Hara telling you. I ask you to think of what you don't have. So you're not grateful for all you've got. And that's how I get you to listen to me, 'cause otherwise you would not. I'll whisper, you're asking for just one small thing, and you need it right now, I may say. I push you to kvetch and kvetch. Kvetch means complain. I push you to kvetch and kvetch and kvetch and get into fights when you play. When I start whispering to you, don't hang out with me to hear more. Quickly, go do something good you enjoy. Then I'll slip out the back door. And here's what may work even better. This could do the job best. Say, hi, Yetzer Hara. Then see what happens next. I disappear when you call me. Right when you figure out I'm the one getting you into each mess you get in, I don't stay around. I just run. I suddenly lose all my power the minute you call me by name. And once you've found out the secret, you can beat me at my own game. I get squished when you find out it's me. Still, I will return. Surprise! When you are not looking, I show up, perhaps in a brand new disguise. All you have to do then is recognize me. I'll try every trick in the book, But once you say, "Hi, Yetzer Hara," yep, you've caught me by the hook. Did you know you've read almost this whole book? Now I've got something big to tell you. I really did want you to read it, and I thought you were going to. See, when I try to mess stuff up by telling you wrong things to do, and your Yetzer Tov says no to me, you become a much stronger you. Yes, you've got a Yetzer Tov too. That means a good inclination, a good drive, like a bright and shining light. It's the part of you that helps you to do things that are right. To get your Yetzer Tov muscles stronger, growing with all their might, I try to not let you catch me. I work all day and night. Here it is. I want you to win wars against me. Yes, every one of them. Because you see, in truth, I am a messenger from Hashem, a messenger from God. So thank you for reading about me. When you spot me now, say hello and tell others about my tricky ways too. You just learned what most people don't know. So that's a part of the book. It's the
That was a
second half.
lot. That was
Yeah,
tons to unpack in what you just read.
right. I'm not
Just
including the ending here with
Yeah,
the
we'll get to that in a minute. But one thing that I do, what I tell people when I tell about this book, just to explain it, is that the masks in the book are how we perceive the Yetzer Hara to be feeling. And if you look behind the mask, that his facial expressions are his true feelings. And the illustrator Racheli David did an amazing job depicting this. We worked really closely with her. And this is another tactic for bringing parents and children together through your books because a child can pick up this book and look through it and read it. Even an older child can do it and they'll get a surface level reading of the book. But if you sit down with your child or if you sit down with your student, if you're a teacher, and you pick apart these illustrations, you can have amazing conversation. Just picking apart his facial expression alone of the Yetzer Hara in this book, it teaches so much about emotion. It teaches, it's a springboard for conversation. So this book can be so deep. It's like an onion, right? There's all different layers to peel back. You can do a surface reading of this and you'll enjoy it, no question about it. But you can go deeper. And as your child gets older, reread and go deeper. And as an adult, I've used tricks from this book to beat my Yetzer Hara, like you read, just recognizing it. Once you recognize it, it will fly away. It will come back in another disguise. But as an adult, these are tricks that we can use to help ourselves, not just our children, but ourselves. By helping ourselves, we help our children also because they see us. But the other thing, I think that one of the pages, it was hard to see when you were reading it, but the part that says you got a Yetzer Tov too, like a bright and shining light. Nope, sorry, wrong page. To get your Yetzer Tov muscles stronger, growing with all their might, I try to not let you catch me. I work all day and night. And the picture that we're using to depict this is a whack-a-mole game. Like, if you've ever been to an arcade and you try to knock down those, that's exactly what it's like. You're knocking down one and another one's popping up, and you can almost not go fast enough. And I think, there's so much to unpack there as well. But this book is one of our bestsellers, wouldn't you say, Benjamin?
Definitely. It's an amazing tool to have for one's life and teaching their children.
Teaching ourselves, teaching our children, teaching our students. If you're a teacher, I know, Benjamin, you use it in your classroom as well. Um, And one of the reasons why we wanted to kind of focus on this book now is because we're in the season of the high holidays. We're heading towards Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur when we're taking the time to do introspection on ourselves. And I wanted to know if you could talk to that for a minute. How can this book in particular help us do that? What could we learn from this book as for parents and for our children as well?
Exactly. One of the main things you're going to learn in this book that I started with is that this inner critic gets you to be critical and focus on what you're missing, what you're lacking. This is the main way it tries to make you miserable. And children, this is what it does. It makes does this for every single person, and it knows it's a personal trainer. It knows exactly what gets to you. It knows what your weakness is. So, and once you've overcome one battle, it puts on a new costume and tries to get you in a slightly different way. This is how it works. But the thing is, and that's the thing with, it has a different face behind the mask because it's really a personal trainer trying to help you. You may not want to lift that dumbbell. You may not want to, but it is helping you to grow your muscles. It's helping you grow your gratitude muscles. This is what you need. And this is really what we need. Elul is all about this time period that we're in right now, this month before Rosh Hashanah, is the time period of feeling God's love for us. That's what it's all about. We want to feel close again. We want to return. We want to return to feeling. And maybe there are people that never felt that love, but we have it within us. We can return to who we really are. We are divine souls. That's who we really are. But we're all given this personal trainer to help us return to who we really are, to develop those abilities, to become more grateful people. That's what it's called tshuva. Tshuva is returning to your true self. It's 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 returning to your roots. It's returning to your essence. You are a infinitely beautiful divine soul. And and you're given, each of us is given our own personal trainer, and that's the Yetzer. This book helps you to recognize that. And when we see that, all of life becomes it becomes a wonderful world full of these challenges just to make us into better people. Everything that happens to us is being done with infinite love, whether we see it right now or not. So children can, when they see that, they can recognize now, after reading the book, they can recognize more easily when that voice is talking to them, become aware of it. And that's half the battle, just recognizing it. And then they can develop the powers to say, like in one instance, the mother is buying a ton of things for the child, and the child is whining and crying because they want that gum by the checkout counter. And that's what the Yetzer does. It's the shopping cart's full, and the child's focusing on the one thing they don't have. That's all of us, all day long.
You're saying as
So,
adults,
yes.
we are that child in
We
just
are
different
also,
instances.
we have the same thing going on with us. Recognize these basic teachings that are explained in a really simple way for all of us to. I write books that parents can enjoy reading with their children. It doesn't ever get boring because, and when you have a book in your home, you can review it, and it really gets internalized so that you really develop these muscles to be able to fight the Yetzer more and more effectively in your life. And it's, even though it keeps coming back, once you've developed these gratitude muscles, your life becomes is on lived on a more joyful level every day. You're never on that same low level again. You're never starting from rock bottom again. You're always in a more joyful place. That's what happens the more you exercise your gratitude muscles, which get stronger through pushing away that Yetzer Hara.
That's beautiful. And at the end of the book, we have these questions. We have 2 pages of questions over here. And it just says, how well do you know the Yetzer Hara? Exactly. And so the parent can read this to their kid as a check and balance, you know? Can you imagine what words I might be whispering in these pictures, right? So look at these and then it's a springboard for discussion to just help parents along to make sure that their children um, have got the message down pat from this book.
I think one of the messages that you're saying, and that I share with people when I sell the books or talk about them, is the Yetzer Hara is not really against the Yetzer Tov. Like you said, it's the physical trainer. They're actually on the same team.
Yeah,
The physical,
yes, they are actually on the same team, but they have to act like they're not.
yeah, and they have to act like they're not and feel like they are not. But if we understand that they really are, that's a joyful struggle. It's a joyful
Beautiful,
experience.
beautiful.
And we grow up thinking like, the struggle, Yetzer Hara, Yetzer Tov, like, but that's tiring, fighting all day, just against. But really, it's all for the good. It's all for your best.
It's not out to get you in a negative kind of way. Exactly. Those are things that it took me years to integrate
It's a
enough to be
total
able to finish the
reframe.
book.
It's a
Yes,
total reframe of how you perceive the Yetzer Hara, and that makes the struggles not crushing.
yes.
If you think about it like that, it's a mind shift. And I think Benjamin, in your classroom and in your work with children, you utilize this book and you came up with some creative ways to do practical things based on this book. Can you share some of what you've done with us?
Yeah, so I pull some of my students sometimes, and we talk about something that's hard for them, a struggle. And I say, oh, that's wonderful, because we always, have things we struggle with, and that's ultimately good for us, and our job's to try to work on it in our life. And then I would discuss with them how they're going to overcome it. Like, what are some techniques? I'm just not going to do it anymore. Like, no, you have to have a plan. What's your plan? And then they would discuss their plan. Okay, now say your plan. And then I would give them this little Nerf gun and they would shoot it at a target. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you got to try another plan. Like it's a whole game almost like that picture we saw. And sometimes you hit it, sometimes you won't. And every time before they, impulsively shoot that gun because they want to just shoot it and make a game out of it, they actually have to think the struggle and their actual plan to overcome so that because the HR has his plans, you have to think of a plan to overcome to make it it's a real battle.
It
It,
concretizes it. That whole thing
it's
concretizes it.
right. And one of the things which I didn't read from the book is the Yetzer will say, just one little piece, just one little bit. We can use that same technique. The way to overcome a habit, you start really small. You just do one little thing differently and you do it joyfully. Those are the two really important secrets to overcome a bad habit.
And teshuva is that. It's a little step,
Yes.
joyfully in the right way. I like your point that you said that we're because realizing our closeness, that's where it's coming from. Our closeness during Elul, Anila Dodi Dodi Li, like it's a time of closeness.
What does
And
that
that,
mean?
and that brings the teshuva. Hashem is here for us and close, he's in the field. That means that he's here embracing us.
Loving us up. That's the thing to recognize. We are being loved up all day long, and we got to struggle to see that. That's what we're here in this world to do, to struggle toward gratitude.
That's what, as you see from the sign behind us, that's what your books are all about, filling lives with gratitude, one book at a time, right? That's something that is especially profound in this book. And
It's it yeah, it's our whole
yeah,
purpose for being here. Exactly. To enjoy this world in gratitude. the more we exercise these muscles, the more we are able to fulfill our mission here. That's what it is.
I just started school, and we have a plan and what to give over and set the table or
The tone.
set the tone for the school year. And but sometimes we just whatever comes at the moment. And this year I put a stress on gratitude, on being grateful. A Jewish person, the main thing that we need to do is be grateful.
Oh,
And I said to them, for little things, big things, and medium things, everything, we're just going to be grateful people. And that creates a happy classroom. We're going to
yeah.
have I have a very happy classroom because we're grateful for little, big, our yarmulke, our shirt, our lunch, our friends, our ceiling, our lights. It just goes on and on and on. So we have a lot to be grateful for.
So beautiful. I just read this quote. It's from Rabbi Beryl Wine, who was just recently niftar. He recently passed away. Zochel Bracha. He said the basis of the Torah is gratitude. That is the basis for every mitzvah, every guideline that we follow to lead a good life here. That is the basis, gratitude.
And I've heard you say before that, our mitzvahs throughout the day, our brachos throughout the day are little gratitude reminders. They help structure our day in gratitude. They focus us on gratitude, and that's who we are as Jews. We are Yehudim, right? We are the gratitude hoda'ah. It comes from the word great, thankful. That's who we are meant to be as grateful, thankful people. And
Yes,
if we start wearing our gratitude glasses as young children,
yes.
imagine what our life would look like instead of playing catch up years later as adults. So, this is our goal together. We're hoping that each book will help, little bits, just adding the gratitude factor, especially in our world today. We are surrounded by entitlement and give me now and all those things. And so if we can stop for a minute and start inculcating into our lives and into our families, little bits of gratitude here and there, that will have a lifetime of changes for everyone.
Exactly. We're surrounded by messages getting us to focus on what we're missing, what we're lacking. So this is what we can change from as early in life as possible. That's what these books are accomplishing. Thank God.
So beautiful. And more of your special books are in the process, and we have special dedication opportunities available. If you would like to help bring another Bracha Gets book to life, please reach out to us at info@growingimpactpublications.com. You could email us directly or reach us through our website, and we'd love to partner with you to bring these important books to help change the world one book at a time. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for sharing these beautiful messages. This book, Don't Read This Book, can be found on our website, growingimpactpublications.com, and in your local bookstore.
And as we approach the high holidays, we end with Kesiva v'chasima tova, a blessing that you should be written and sealed for a sweet new year.
See you next time.
Thank you for joining us today. You can head to growingimpactpublications.com to book Mrs. Getz for an in-person or a Zoom presentation, consultations, and to find her books.
We love getting your feedback as well. You can email us at info@growingimpactpublications.com. And you can hit the subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. Until next time.